Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got some really exciting bodybuilding news to break down. We're kicking things off with Andrew Jacked and what his future plans might be. This is a clip from a recent post he shared. As you all know, after the Arnold Classic, the next big event on the schedule is the Pittsburgh Pro, which is attracting some of the top names in bodybuilding. Given that, you'd think Andrew Jacked might consider competing there as well. As for Samson Dauda, I initially suspected he might be jumping in, especially based on how he's looking here. However, according to his Instagram Q&A, he hasn't even been training. That's right, this is after 3 weeks of complete rest from the gym. Why the break? Well, it's just part of his plan. He's never taken this much time off before, but he decided to let his body recover. And honestly, looking at him now, even after 3 weeks off, his physique is still insane. But no, he won't be doing the Pittsburgh Pro. He confirmed he's taking a longer break, so his next competition will likely be Mr. Olympia. Now, regarding Andrew Jacked, he needs to qualify for the Olympia, so his next move is crucial. Would it make sense for him to jump into the Pittsburgh Pro, given that it's shaping up to be a mini Olympia? Well, I'd have to say no. Even though he made huge improvements for the Arnold Classic this year and landed in 3rd place, I don't think the battle between him and the top two, Samson and Derek, was particularly close. You could argue that he edged them out in some front poses, like the front double biceps or even the abs and thighs, maybe even most muscular against Derek. His front lat spread is solid, but when it comes to the side and back poses, despite making progress, he still struggles to match up with those guys. Now that Derek is also in the lineup, it would be extremely difficult for Andrew to take the win in Pittsburgh. In this clip of him doing T-bar rows, he seems focused on improving his back poses. His caption even reads, "Back to the drawing board," and in previous posts, he said the same thing. That tells us he won't be competing again anytime soon. He's prioritizing making further improvements. So which competition could he target later this year? Maybe the Texas Pro, where he's already won twice. Could he go for a three-peat? Or perhaps he'll aim for another event. Since he's based in Dubai, the Dubai Pro is a possibility, but I've heard there may be some conflict with the event's organizer, so that might not be an option. Texas seems like a likely choice, but we'll have to wait and see. One thing's for sure, Pittsburgh isn't happening for him. As for what he needs to work on, his main focus should be conditioning in his lower body, especially from the back, and adding thickness so he looks more dominant in side poses. His most muscular pose here, I wouldn't change much. I actually like how he's doing it. The one thing I'd suggest he drop is that tongue thing he was doing. Not sure who gave him that idea, but it wasn't a great move. The gifs in the comments say it all. It didn't land well. I get that he was trying to show some personality, but that wasn't the way to do it. But at the end of the day, that's a minor issue. What really matters is improving his side and back poses. If he nails that while keeping his front poses strong, he could win any show, even Mr. Olympia. The question is, can he make those necessary improvements? He's back to the drawing board, so hopefully this off-season, however short it may be, brings solid gains. I fully expect him to qualify for the Olympia. How he performs there will depend on how much he progresses, but if he nails it, he could contend for the win. Otherwise, he might end up somewhere around 5th or 6th. What do you all think? Now let's move on to another interesting topic, the results of the Fit World Pro Show, where Jack Eagles competed but placed as low as 7th. Now, I've said before that Jack Eagles was definitely overhyped. I'm not saying he was unfairly judged, but I do believe he had the most classic-looking physique on that stage, yet he still ended up lower in the rankings. Let's check out the top 5, starting with the winner. Does this guy strike you as a classic physique competitor? Honestly, if I didn't know he was competing in classic, and if it weren't for his posing trunks, I'd assume he was in the 212 division. He's got massive legs, a dominant lower body, shorter arms, and a blocky frame. Tons of muscle and great conditioning. But for classic physique, I'm not so sure. Here's the 2nd place finisher. Maybe he looks classic just because of the mustache. The 3rd place guy definitely has open bodybuilding potential. The 4th place finisher? Pretty similar to the winner. And the 5th place competitor, well, he might be the only one in this lineup that actually looks classic. Now check out the winner's posing routine. His first pose is front relaxed, followed by most muscular. Most muscular in classic physique. Sure, he transitions into a front double biceps pose, but still, what exactly is the distinction between classic physique and 212 here? Because I don't see it. Maybe he's a bit small for 212, but even so, I think he could win a 212 show as well. He's a great bodybuilder, but is he classic? Not really. But he won the show, so that raises the question, what does classic actually mean? When I talk about classic physique, I'm referring to shape and aesthetics. Sure, aesthetics can be subjective, but I think we can all agree on what a classic look is. It seems like the IFBB is mainly rewarding guys who are maxed out in size and making weight while being as conditioned as possible, with little regard for shape. You could argue that this is pushing someone like Jack Eagles to simply get bigger. If he adds size while maintaining his classic lines, maybe he'll start beating these guys. But as it stands, it's clear that in classic physique, size still holds the advantage. If you're not maxed out on size, you need to at least create the illusion that you are. No matter how aesthetic you are, if someone else is bigger, they'll likely win. I wanted to talk about this because, honestly, I don't like it. I get it, but I don't like it. I wish judges prioritized aesthetics over pure size. Even if someone is smaller, if they truly embody that classic look, they should have the edge over someone who's just a smaller open bodybuilder. I get that defining classic is tricky, but surely the judges could do a better job of rewarding physiques that truly fit the division's intent. Hopefully, classic physique remains about classic lines and aesthetics, rather than just mass and conditioning. What do you guys think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Finally, let's talk about Nick Walker. Now that we're just 7 weeks out from the Pittsburgh Pro, we have a fresh physique update from Nick Walker. And the difference in conditioning is already clear. Take a look at his abs. The skin looks much tighter, his chest is more detailed, and his shoulders and arms appear slightly flatter, a sign that he's dropping volume to reach peak conditioning. From what we can see, Nick is dialing in his physique perfectly for the competition. His waist is looking more streamlined, and his legs still have that insane thickness that makes him one of the most dominant competitors in the game. But will this be enough to take the Pittsburgh Pro title? Let us know what you think in the comments. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.